your skies.
This is a story of a special Memorial Day weekend when the world's most prominent veterans service organization, the Disabled American Veterans, teamed up with the world's most celebrated auto race, the Indianapolis 500. It's a story that began nearly a century ago.
When I think about the Indy 500, I think about a true slice of Americana. The opportunity to tie in the world's largest single-day sporting event with Memorial Day weekend, something that's so solemn as we pay tribute to those who've lost their lives in service to our country, it's what makes it so special. When I think about the 20 minutes before the start of the Indy 500, whether it's Jim Neighbors singing Back Home Again in Indiana, the playing of taps, our military flyover, Mary Holman George saying Gentlemen Start Your Engines, and the balloon release, that's what's truly special about our event. The fact that we tie them in so well together, it's appropriate, it feels right, it's something special about America that we celebrate that weekend.
When you fly over and you see what we're representing, a chance to meet 400,000 people, if you will, at the track, it brings us all together as one.
I can't think of a better connection than the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the Disabled American Veterans to join together and create a special impact. I'm going to be standing there like a fan, cheering it on when I see these two planes come over the racetrack.
It was the Indianapolis Motor Speedway's 100th anniversary and time for a special celebration.
The Speedway is celebrating something very unique this year. In 1909, the Speedway was built as a testing facility, more for the creation of the automobile rather than automobile racing. So the fact that 100 years later, we're celebrating such a special centennial of the property, but then go a little bit further. In 1911 was the first Indy 500. So we've got 1909, 1911, 2009, 2011. We decided to put those 3 years together and create a centennial era.
Something extraordinary was needed, and the DAV had the answer.
The idea about coming up with some antique airplanes was pretty prevalent in my mind.
DAV had the antique warbirds General Goodwin was looking for. Since its inception in 2003, the DAV flight team has engaged millions of Americans at air shows around the country, reminding them of the service and sacrifices made by America's disabled veterans and their families. The team's fully operational B-25 Mitchell bombers were made famous by the immortal Doolittle Raid and legendary World War II service. Their thundering engines and awesome firepower remind all that freedom is not free. These warbirds help DAV spread its message of hope and service across the country.
What we've learned is that the aircraft serve as a unique means of involving veterans of all ages and all generations in what our message is about. What we've observed at air shows around the country is that the warbirds really serve as an invitation for the public to come and learn about what we're doing. The aircraft are universally recognizable and really draw a crowd, not only on the ground during our static displays at each event, but at each air show we get the opportunity to fly, be the star of the show for 15 minutes, tell folks about the history of the aircraft, but also tell them about the message of DAV.
The thing that really sealed the deal for me and for the Speedway was the DAV involvement, because Memorial Day is about veterans, and it's about veterans who ultimately gave that sacrifice. And the people that are involved with DAV obviously are people to be honored, people that gave a lot of service, and in a lot of cases a lot of the rest of their lives because of the injuries that they sustained.
So the stage was set to bring the revered B-25 War Dog, a lasting symbol of courage and can-do spirit, to a worldwide stage and a TV audience of millions. For the first time ever, historic military aircraft would carry out the traditional pre-race flyover for the Indianapolis 500. The Sounds of Freedom flyover, as it was being called, created an unparalleled opportunity to bring the DAV message to millions. But to capitalize on it would take split-second timing, first-rate piloting, intricate coordination of many elements and agencies, and finally, the blessing of the weather gods.
To be able to perform on one of the largest stages at the greatest spectacle in racing for men and women at home and abroad, past and present, is one of the greatest honors. I'm very proud to be here.
Then came the moment everyone was waiting for, and the sounds of freedom filled the brickyard.
And we're grateful to the Disabled American Veterans, the DAV flight team, conducting today's historic flyover. Two legendary World War II B-25 Mitchell bombers just passing by. The 1.2 million member DAV thanks you for your support for helping keep the spirit of America flying. Visit www.dav.org for more on the America's Disabled Veterans. Thank you.
It was a moment that meant so much to so many. On this Memorial Day 2009, there were nearly 400,000 race fans inside the historic Indianapolis Motor Speedway. ESPN's international broadcast reached 213 countries and territories and more than 292 million households. Our troops serving around the world and at sea watched via the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
The most important thing that we can say to any service member, and especially to the DAV members, is thank you. And it's events like this and it's opportunities like this that I think will build networking cases to where we can help get that story out, and we can get jobs and we can get opportunities for those members so that they can rejoin the society and make a difference.
National Senior Vice Commander Bobby Barrera presented a scale model of the B-25 Special Delivery to Speedway President Joey Chitwood to commemorate the DAV's historic flyover. The model's wooden base was hand-carved from a single piece of walnut to resemble the Indianapolis Motor Speedway's unique 2.5-mile track. It marked the beginning of a long and lasting friendship for America's disabled veterans and their families.
What was done here today with these rides for the leadership of this Indianapolis Motor Speedway will pay dividends that you will not even imagine at this point in time. You had some very influential people on that flight with us today. I work with them all the time. I've known them for years, and I can tell you that they're not easily impressed. They were impressed today.
I think